What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to Marvel Future Fight. So recording this video earlier was kind of funny, and then doing the video, the voice work with it now, and yeah, let's walk you through this because this gift that was here to us for Marvel Future Fight just doesn't quite seem like such a gift now that we've had them. Magneto and Magik, their tier 4s, are here. I'm also going to show you the unlocking of Polaris for Magneto's daughter, who probably is a better look than most of these. So let's get into this. So if we go over here to the Future Pass, most people should have completed this by now. I did purchase the Legendary and Mythic tier Future Passes because I really wanted the Cyclops, and I had a feeling that I was going to need this Mythic uniform upgrade kit, and that is going to be really weighted there in terms of, you know, getting that because it's there. But along with that, at level 15, most players, I think, were also looking forward to getting the Polaris bio, so that way you can unlock her. You can use the mega upgrade rank ticket that's inside the Future Pass, and then if you need a mega tier 2 ticket, you could either purchase one, or you could wait for the monthly event to roll through for the token shops and get a mega rank up ticket there in order to get Polaris to tier 3. Now, caveat to going that route is that Polaris isn't exactly all that special, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Here goes the thing, is that in a meta where we are literally excuse me, where we're literally talking about a meta that we have where it's about tier 4s, and the newest tier 4 that comes out, Polaris is just gonna fall off at the chops. Let's just be honest with you about that. So let's go inside here and we'll check this out. So let's unlock Polaris right now. We'll see this. So we've got our X-Gene Polaris inside of here, and there she goes. Now, overall, I have to say that this character model looks absolutely amazing. She's definitely Bay waifu kind of material, and I specifically want to bring this up as I talk about and examine the costumes for Magneto and for Magik. So if we were to take a look at this costume, so let's do this real quick. I want to share that with my alliance, let them know I'm still playing this game. Let's drop her in here. So now she's with Daddy Warbucks, right? So if you were to look at this costume overall, and I want you to pay attention, you can see some very good detail in this costume. So like the way her sleeves are rolled up, and you can see like the little crunch effect that's inside at the elbows, from the X patch that's on her forearms to the ribbing inside her latex boots and things like that. The gloss feature, even notice her hair, to the flipped collar that we have here that rolls into her neckline. There's just a lot of pieces of detail on the character that truly look amazing, right? I love the look of Polaris. That's one thing that is true. The bad part about Polaris is that she is a blast type character in a meta where we have plenty of blast type characters that are far going to outweigh her ability. And the worst part off is that I imagine there's going to be a whole lot more blast characters to come that are going to outweigh her. So that's just the truth of the matter. So now that we have Polaris, like I said, there's a couple of ways that you can go about leveling her up. One, use a rank up ticket. I've got a few of these, so go inside here and do this. The bad part is that in order to rank up Polaris past this point, guess what? You do need to actually purchase the character's bios from the X-Gene selector. Otherwise, you know, you just basically need to have one of those advancement tickets. So right here, you can see my mastery is too low. I don't have any more advanced mega rank up tickets inside of here for the tier 2. So I will have to get one of those. That's fine. I already intend on doing that. So now let's take a look at the uniforms by default for Magneto and Magik. So Magneto, unfortunately, you can purchase his uniform, the newest Krakoan winter uniform, and let's be honest, it's 1,750 crystals, and if I had to tell you whether or not to purchase this uniform, I'd automatically be telling you not to do it. Number one, the design on his uniform looks very, like, I don't know, something about the design on his uniform, just it doesn't tick the boxes for me. Like, there's not a lot there in terms of like feeling as if though I'm playing with Magneto. I think there's like some design pieces there that, you know, I don't know. There's some design pieces that are there that kind of look cool, like the flowing scarf that he has, and I think the vest, you know, the color ensemble looks pretty good. But this is a 1750 crystal uniform. I would expect more. That's just me. Now, I did notice that I watched a video earlier with Cynic Alex, and he was talking about it, and he was specifically going into like the detail on the hands where they just, you know, the glove was doing some clipping on the uniform. It's still kind of doing some clipping on his jacket, and you can see like this was like not very high fidelity. I kind of wondered if he turned down his graphics, and maybe that's what it was that he was seeing, because it wasn't there for me when I was looking at it, but I still wasn't as impressed with the uniform. That's just being truthful to me, right? Now, purchase the uniform. Okay, so we'll get into the uniform details more in the skills and abilities, right? But before we do that, let's take a look at Magik, okay? So next up we have Magik, and she loses her Phoenix 5 uniform, and unfortunately, to get the Krakoan winter uniform, right, you need 30 of these holiday tokens, these special tokens, these 2022 holiday tokens, in order to purchase the uniform. Now, her uniform looks a lot better than Magneto's. I will have to say that. Like, there's a lot more detail going on, especially like you turn it to the side over here. You can see like some more the chains and stuff like that falling off her. She's got that same kind of latex pant gloss that's there. And her sword looks pretty cool. It's very reminiscent to me of Marvel Future Revolution, which lets me know that I'm thinking a lot of the Marvel Future Revolution team has basically come over to Marvel Future Fight, right? But then when you get to some of her detail on her, like if you were to look at her jacket with the fur linings and stuff like that, looks very flat. You look at her hair, and her hair definitely feels very 2014, 2015 time frame. And you're like, man, just loses all like stuff for me. Even when you look at her sword, like, cool, the shiny effects of the sword look pretty cool, but as you get down the sword, it's like, what did they do here? Like, if you look at the sword, this is what I mean. Like, look at this side right here. These studs or whatever, they look kind of like, you know, 3D'd. But then when we get to these like rivets that are here, it just looks like flat and just. And even as you go more up to the sword over here, the handle and everything just looks terrible there, right? And this is what I mean by the uniforms, is like they start to, the uniform here really just falls off. And I don't know what it is, but these uniforms don't look good. Not worth the cost, because realistically, I'm going to have to pay $30 something to get it. Well, let's be honest, they're going to give me 10 tokens, or they'll give everybody 10 tokens. So you really only have to purchase 20 tokens, but you have to wait like the 7 days in order to do that. And the other bad part about this is that, again, Magik is a blast type character who's going to fit into the tier 3 meta. And right now, we're not really utilizing or looking for tier 3 characters when they're being eclipsed. So it's just really hard to justify. So let's talk about some of the ways that you can actually purchase Magik. In order to do that, we need to make our way over to the store. Okay. So they put a lot of items inside the store that they just kind of keep rolling back and forth, like the tier 4 super upgrade pack is inside here. You notice you can get 50 of these bonus holiday tokens inside here. The easiest path, in my opinion, from looking at all the purchases, is going to be the Magneto holiday chest, which also includes some of the Phoenix feathers. And again, down here, you see that tier 2 mega advancement ticket, though I guarantee you will not get that. So you have the ability. This would have been nice if maybe inside the Magneto holiday chest, they included Magneto and Magik bios. I think that would have been that players would have been really happy about that. But you're going to need to purchase a couple of these in order to get them. And the holiday, yeah, there we go. So you can see the bonus tokens right here. You're going to have to purchase all 30 of these, I think it is. You can purchase, or whatever it is, like, yeah, it's like 10 of them in order to get it, or you purchase 3 of them and you'll get the bonus 20. So I'm going to do that as a path to this, right? Now, the Destiny event pack inside here, pretty much no different than what the pack is that you're buying. So it's like 2 one way, half a dozen another, depending on how you purchase. So you could go with the Destiny event pack and go from the Magneto holiday pack. but probably not the best. So you got the premium tier 3 upgrade pack, which is $99. That one's always inside the store. You know what I mean? So essentially you have those. So the Magneto holiday tokens, in my opinion, is probably going to be your best bet in terms of getting there, because you're going to get those crystals. You get a 0.10% chance of getting that tier 2 mega advancement ticket, which could be really helpful to you if you know, I guess if you really get hard on it. But unfortunately, like, it's like the magnetic relay pack is there, but the Magneto relay pack is not that good. The tier 4 super upgrade pack, if you're really feeling like you need it for that second potential realization ticket. But realistically, when you look at that second potential realization ticket, like, I can tell you guys right now, there's not a whole lot of reason to level up Magneto unless you are deep into ABX League or something like that. Like, it's just not really there. Then we get the premium tier 3 pack. I can't really suggest that because, like, dude, those tier 3 materials for the premium tier 3 pack, they are what they are. You know what I mean? So it's hard to justify that. Then you get down to the packages for the holiday tokens for the 7-year anniversary pack. Those are included in those and you can still purchase those. The offer for agents is another really nice way to get into this, because the offer for agents is always in the shop. It's one of those things, and you can get the tokens from there as well. So you could purchase the offer for agents as a simpler way, pay the $30 right out through there and get your 300 crystals. The thing I like about the Magneto pack is that you do get the chance at that mega tier 2 upgrade ticket. So that's why I'm suggesting that. The relay packages, stay away from unless you are that, whale of a player. So yeah, just stay away from that, man. Like, for real. Just trust me, stay away from it. Don't do it to yourself, especially if you're like a player like me. Anyways, don't forget that upcoming, they're also going to have a holiday special artifact chest to get the purchase event, so we can acquire 6 and 5 and 6-star artifacts when purchasing the artifact chest. So that should be a good one for most players. The rates are going to be a little bit increased inside there, so that's what it is, right? So anyways, all right. Let's get back into this anyways, right? So now let's take a look at these. So I'm going to purchase the holiday pack, and then we'll jump right back in. All right, so now that we have the boxes, let's take a look at what we have inside of them and let's see how lucky we get. So you can see what I mean by here. For the $30, you're essentially acquiring about 3,300 of the crystals, and then a chance that about 6 boxes per. So we'll acquire all the rewards inside here for these boxes, which is 3,300 crystals, which is nice. And then we'll see what chances we get at for these chests. Now, like I said, I can almost guarantee you are not going to get the mega tier 2 advancement ticket, though it's nice if you do, because you have a chance at it. Now, some of these are just acquire rewards. I got lucky there for that Odin's chest, thank God for that. At least that makes me happy about that. Now we're opening Magneto. So you can see 750 of these Phoenix feathers. Okay, some tier 3 materials, these comic books, Titan component packs. This is good. More Phoenix feathers. There's probably going to be a whole lot of these Phoenix feathers in comics that just don't make sense. Like, these packs are really, I hate to say this, but these packs are really not worth the value that they had. And it's one of those things where going into the new year for 2023, Netmarble really needs to look at the evaluation of some of the products that they have inside there. But there you go. So now inside the pool, though, you can see I have my 10 tokens, right? Or my 30 tokens that I needed, right? And so there you go. So my 30 holiday tokens are inside here. So now I can go back to my team and I can purchase this uniform for Magik. Yeah, don't own a uniform, I know. Here we go. We're purchasing it anyways, right? Now, I'm going to be perfectly blunt and honest with you guys again at this point in the video, so that way if you want to continue on with the video from here, continue on. But if not, this will be a good stopping point for most of the players, because I usually like to keep the video at 15 minutes, although I'll do an individual breakdown of these videos later on. These uniforms are not worth the price of admission. So that's just the point that I want to get across to you. Magik, regardless of how you look at her, she is a tier 3 blast character who's a female. There are going to be plenty more blast females who they're going to be there for you. I mean, you could potentially use Jean Grey as a blast female. You still have Storm, who's a blast female, who's going to be better than her. And I'm going to imagine that at some point here in the near future, probably going to end up with a blast female in Sharon Rogers. I just have to imagine that that's going to be true. So when you look at the tier 4 at those levels, so even when you look at the blast females of heroes, she doesn't make her way into the meta to shape and define anything there. So it's going to be hard to suggest to players that you're going to buy these, especially if the status that we go into follows suit, where we've seen this before, right? And essentially when these uniforms get released, they're good for a time, for a thing, and they are really, really quickly eclipsed. So almost like when these uniforms are released, you can almost look at them as like they form the baseline. So meaning like every character after this point will either fall above or at the level of where these characters are. And the bar for where Magik and Magneto are is like really fucking low. So it's like they're going to be way better tier 4 options than Magneto. They're going to be way better options than Magik at tier 4. That is just the obvious, like I hate to say it, but that is the God's honest truth of the matter. I can vision a whole lot of blast females who probably will make waves far more significant than she is. I almost forgot, Blue Dragon's at tier 4. So you got Blue Dragon, Storm, Blue Dragon, Storm, and freaking Dark Phoenix, or not as Dark Phoenix, but Jean Grey, who could serve as blast type characters for you above there, with the potential that Sharon Rogers is coming down the pipe. So if you really need a blast type female, I would really consider waiting around to see if this goddess becomes in there, because they're never going to treat their OG characters in this way. So just keep that in mind. And Magneto, unfortunately, he's not going to be better than Iron Man. That's just the simple God's honest truth. And he's not going to get more uniforms in play than Iron Man. That's the simple God's honest truth. So when you look at blast type characters inside the game, blast male heroes, there are potentially a lot more blast type male heroes potentially coming down the stream who have better chances of getting tier 4s and being better than Magneto. I just hate to say that. Star-Lord has another movie coming up in the summer of this year. I could imagine, hell, there's characters that blast males at tier 3 right now that I could imagine that would end up getting uniforms that would be better than him. So I put it this way, the only good thing is that he's a blast villain. So he's probably the only blast tier 4 villain there for you right now at the moment. But unless you're playing that specific of a character, then no. And like I said, Polaris falls into the same suit as what Magik does. That's the simple God's the honest truth. So take it as you want to. But let's take a look at what Magneto has in store here so we can get a look at these things. I do want to give you guys an idea of what's going on for the characters overall. Notice that as well, along with this, I hate to say this, but both Magneto and Magik become very expensive uniforms because they're double purchases pretty much, right? Like Magneto, in order for you to get his X genes, you basically have to play the where is it at? Details. In order to get his X genes, you basically have to have that deluxe edition pack, right? So you're going to be scrambling the time to get his X genes from here to level him up, and you're going to need quite a few of them to get him from tier 3 to tier 4, and then you're going to need a few of them for at least 1,000 or so for him to get to his uniform to mythic. So you're essentially potentially sitting on probably about 3,000 to 4,000 X genes that you need, that you can only get from the epic quest, which means that in order to get past some of this, you're going to have to use that that mega upgrade ticket on Magneto in order to level him up. The same could be said for Magik, because you're purchasing her, and the only place that you can get bios for her is within the X Gene selector. So you purchase the uniform for the $30, and then essentially to level her up further, you're going to probably need to pay about another $30-$40 using a mega rank up ticket in order to use her. Like if you were to look at some of these other uniforms, where I ranked them up because I really do like Magik as a character, but it's not that fucking great. Like, let's just be honest about it. I'm just being 100 with you guys, right? So let's take a look at the skills on Magneto and see what he's got here. My impressions so far, videos I've seen around him on the web from other creators, he doesn't really look that great. He kind of looks kind of fucking slow, to be perfectly honest. So his first skill over here, it still follows the standard flare of Magneto. The bad part is that he's doing a skill and he has no protection, right? So like if I'm looking at this skill overall, you can see here it's a snare skill, but it has no protection on it. There's no invincibility frames or anything, so the likelihood that you're using this character as anything other than an open doesn't really make sense. Now, I do like the fact that the skill has a great distance on it. You can see how far back it goes. It's literally hitting characters back over there. How often are you going to be seeing that? Not so fucking often, right? His tier 2 skill, it's the first place we see the actual holiday skill. He drops a, I guess it's like a magnetic filament, maybe something like that, like snowflake onto the characters, and then he kind of like summons them down. Guys, you could have stole skills from Marvel Future Revolution. It would have been okay. They did a better job at it. Anyways, and then you can see his other skill. He basically summons, like out the ground, some magnetic filament as well, and it smashes together to look like a holiday tree, and then a snowmobile basically comes in here and it blows up everything. Okay, so we got two holiday looking abilities, but they're not really festive, but they are in line with the character, so I'll let those go, right? Then his fourth skill looks very familiar. He just basically summons bombs that fall around him. Notice again that when he casts his 2 skill, he does have the iframes on this skill pretty much throughout. And then when he casts this skill, he also has an iframe in the midst of the skill. Like when you first cast the skill, it doesn't seem to be there. And then you get the 4th skill over here as well, and then boom, bombs drop, right? His 5th skill may look familiar to you, because there it goes. He summons everything into that area. Not really anything holiday-ish about it, right? But it's there. And then his 6th skill, we kind of remember this, summons a bunch of, you know, girders and buses and everything. He just drops them all down on him. And then he has his 4th skill inside the abilities as well now for Magneto. So those are his skills. I do like the shield effect that they have in here. My detail on the character skill makes this look really cool, to be honest with you. I hate to say that. I don't know if like Cynic Alex had his video turned down, but the character doesn't look so bad. But notice that he hadn't moved from that spot at all. Like, he is in that fucking spot, bro. He just, I guess when you're that confident about yourself, I guess you do what you do, right? But he is the master of magnetism, and he wouldn't be Magneto without, you know, doing that. So it is what it is, right? So let's take a look at the character. I'll go more in detail on the character's skills in another video and break the character down individually, but I really want to show you the ability to cancel out his skills. So 1, you know, we roll into 2. You notice that the 1 basically stops, so you can't cancel out of the 1. And we have 2, and then you can kind of cancel out of the 2 for it to kind of continue on down here. So 2 happens and then 1, right? Now the important piece in here is whether or not you can cancel out of 3, 4, and 5, right? So then we get to 3, you can see the skill over there. So basically you want to see when can I cancel out that skill. So basically 3 goes in, 4 goes in. You see all of those are cancelable at this point. So when we cast 4, we want to see, can I cancel into 5? Yes, I can, and still get the damage for 4. So this is a little bit of change to departure from the character, which is really, really cool. So then you want to start taking a look at what the character's stuff is and be able to see out there. So the nice thing is that he can cancel out of those skills. So I can roll 3, 4, and then 5, and I still have the 5 up inside of here on a nice cooldown. So pay attention to that. It's 3, 4, 5, and then I've got about 5-second cooldown going inside here. I'm a little bit confused as to whether or not they did an update or something like that, because I saw some earlier videos where it was like, yeah, there was a longer cooldown on this than what it was. Maybe it is, because actually I go 3, 5, 4, and then I'm kind of waiting. So 2, 1, 3, and then he's basically there. But I don't know, not too bad to me. I can still roll 3, 4, 5, and then roll directly into 6, where I should have did 7, 6 inside there in this instance, but we'll get into that in another video. But I like that, you know, this is where Magneto's sitting. It's a nice place for him. It's just, I just don't feel that he's going to be anywhere outside of here. Let's take a look at, I don't want to change you from there. What I wanted to do was I wanted to turn on the VFX skills inside of here. I don't think there was any cool VFX for this stuff. But let's take a look at them. 3, yeah, nothing there. 4, Not a whole lot happening there. And then 5, and then we obviously know his 6th ability. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think I noticed that before. His eyes turn red. That's kind of cool. I like that. I like that. All right, so let's pass that over and let's take a look at Magik. Now, interestingly for Magik, I think that the cool part about her is that her skills look absolutely amazing, in my opinion. It just is what it is. Unfortunately at this point. So let's take a look at these skills overall, right? So Magik can be given to tier 3 now. Always good to rank up characters there. Her first skill, you notice she basically nice gap closer side here, and it follows from a long bit of a ways. And then we roll into her 2 skill, nice sword skill that pops up off the ground. Not a lot happening there, 20 hits immediately, so you can literally just cancel into that skill, cancel out of skill. Her 3rd skill, this looks absolutely amazing. She just opens up a bunch of dimension gates and there are attacks coming from them. And you can see how wide of an area they are here. So this might make her really good for like clearing areas and stuff like that. Maybe dispatch missions and stuff like that. Then we go into our 4th skill over here. Nice. I love the ripples that are happening here on the screen. Basically, you can see like she summons this down, strikes the ground. These ripples form, and then she's get these little blue summons. I don't think they're actually summons though, that form out of the ground. Now her 5th skill is a gate skill, and I just absolutely love this skill because she does a lot of damage coming in, and then you see like this dimension gate open, and it's almost like Trigon is coming out. I know that's DC, but it's like Trigon coming out of here. And then her 6th skill, her tier 3, it just looks absolutely sick to me. You know, Magik transforms into a demon form, summons stuff down. It would have been a lot better had I think some of this not been so dark in these rocks and explosions. They got this bluish black color that's inside there. I think it would have been a lot cooler had it been inside there. Now, whether or not you can cancel out her skills, right? So she can cancel out of a couple of her skills inside here and rotations, and I think her rotation is still going to fall within a certain aspect to just be able to cancel directly into the skills. But she does look amazing. I just don't see her fitting into the meta. It's just sad. So like I can't tell you reliably that this is a character you should be investing in. I just can't. But I'll break down the character some more in another video. So those are my initial impressions on the characters and everything that they have inside the update for this mid-month season. Still disappointed nonetheless that we haven't got any information about, you know, Shuri's Black Panther uniform, which I thought would have been a better mid-month update than this, but understanding, you know, hey, they're going to drop on us some mutants, and we'll probably get more mutants in the new year, at least from what it looks like. I'd be remiss if I didn't point it out, but if you went into the Shield archive, I think it was Cynic Alex that pointed it out, that if you go inside here to the token archive, they actually had some 2023 tokens inside here. You can see there's a Dark Phoenix token and another pre-release event token. Don't forget to collect your token over here for 2022. As long as you've been playing throughout 2022, collecting all of the tokens, then you'll be able to collect the 2022 token as well. So those are those. The last thing I want to leave you guys off with is the event shop. So notice over here inside the event shop is that you basically have a lot of items inside here going throughout. And I think that if you did choose at some point to pick up Polaris, if you chose to pick up Magik, you might want to take some consideration this roll through about using those 650 tokens in order to purchase a tier 2 mega advancement ticket, unless you just have money to pull it out from somewhere else. I cannot suggest that this is a worthwhile investment for Polaris or for Magik. I just cannot. If you plan on playing Magneto and he's a favorite character of yours, by all means do so, especially since you can get him to tier 4. And if you've got the, you know, the crystals, then you can pay out the deluxe pack and work on him over time, and it wouldn't be necessarily a bad investment to have a blast tier 4 villain in your rotation at all. I really can't suggest that that would be a bad purchase for you guys. So take a look at it overall. Notice that there's also this holiday token shop random chest inside here, and you can get a bunch of artifacts and CTPs and even costumes and things like that. This might be a place that you can use your other tokens if you have like leftovers. Like I'll end up having some probably remaining tokens, and you can basically gamble for those. There's a limit of 200 aside there. I don't think a lot of players are going to have 200 tokens, but it is what it is. So this is the mid-month release, guys. It's the holidays. It's the new. We're rolling into the new year. We're probably not going to see very much from the developers in the meantime, in the between time. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys enjoy your holidays with your friends and families. Cherish them, love them, have some fun playing games that you love overall, and let's not complain too much because, you know, it's a game after all. It's just about you having fun. All right, until the next time, guys. Peace.